February 24th, 312, Martin Cove offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Yeah. She really kind of fucked us there. Like, we're not just talking, oh, well, baby, let's make love. We're talking about fucking bam. You know what I mean? Like, oh, why would she say that? Yeah, I didn't know either, Emma. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother Neil was only trying to save me. So that means you. Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Well, we obviously have to talk about it. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. And suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Drake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture into my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That was so Ilana. And it must be Ilana why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? Prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. Rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must have not been able to face up what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in that instant that the crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. You know, Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You went through so much. You need a hug, bitch. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Sometimes a guy just needs a hug. That's what she needs. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. And find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think if somebody's on those stairs. Excuse me. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Then why would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning by, you mean by the police, yeah? Of course, this has happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way to your sister's office? Because the detective's office and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. You think that would have been some useful information? She was the best in the entire force. That's news to me, damn right it is. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Damn right. You motherfucker. God, no, she fine as hell. Sorry. Composure. Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. You're not wrong. You are fucking... You are... I am building a tower out of blocks and you keep kicking it over. It's getting irritating. Falsifying evidence. I don't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Because it's against the law. What if he didn't really do it? What if he was framed? That's why it's innocent until proven guilty. Dumbass. Before, when it was guilty until proven innocent, it was easy work, wasn't it? Ah, no, she found us hell though. Criminals don't mind playing. Oh. But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent... Thank you, Emma. An innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. But you fill me in on detail. Especially about that unusual change of jobs. I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Okay, tell me. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. Oop. Fucking nearly dropped my controller. No. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief GANT cracked together. Chief GANT? Here's the deputy chief of police back then. But he still worked the crime scenes. He didn't have his weird little cross thing now. Damon GANT. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes even before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're a chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to the resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs. Yes, maybe we should. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Oh, I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. At trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. That's okay. You need to soul to smell. I mean, well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. She can't do it. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I knew it, she's covering Edgeworth. Two years ago, I was in second in command at the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, wasn't it? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the investigations. They even had the same office. I sure hope they didn't have. You know, we led a team of the best detectives in the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Andrew Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall had done the guards and fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Grant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all our systems have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right, quite a coincidence, hmm? I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. It's straight cap, I'm telling you. Well, that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to exchange because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case might not just be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant I shared. The office that Damon Gant now occupies by himself. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder! Yes, we should, shouldn't we? Let us go. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. You seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right, the chief of detectives seems the same though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. Right. Oh, jeez. Howdy, Bambina. Did you finally get the can? Did you get canned? Got the boot? Oh, Mr. Marshall. I thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Cool. What? Q, Sierra. I don't know what that means. You'll never know what life will lead you, huh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must have been his pet cactus. Say, where you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prosecutors head west? Oh, why do prospectors head west? If there was ever a case I needed to know the truth about, it was this one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for the prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been real close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right, it was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning. By nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have already gone by. I tried to steal the evidence of the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Hester Goodman was murdered and the locker room evidence was empty. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance the knife was not a murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars the SL9 incident left behind. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Chief Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would have got suspicious. No, they were careful not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and the second in command, Lana Sky. I am not having a good reading day today. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard that duo. The case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case, Anna. Oh shit. What is that? After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office. Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, had that arranged. He's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that, and mention it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret, it all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon GANT. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. The fuck? Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Oh God. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. No, please don't. See if there's anybody at the prosecutor's office. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking at what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Right? I gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Yes, yes we do. Yes, we do. I caught you red-handed, Edgeworth. Miss Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Anna admitting falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. But the chief prosecutor saying what she did. Oh, with the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision on what to do with Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement of the media and tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think the festive was the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator up to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Damn right. Holy mother. That's why organs? He lives in the chapel? Or works in the chapel? Is that why organs play when he... Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. I guess that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Yeah, I used to take organ classes in kindergarten. He used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Jesus! I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant! He put that paper where he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that, isn't it? My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's the picture of Lana, Neil, and me. Well, this is Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to I can't talk today. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something is not right with this picture. Can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. What could it be? I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that not even my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case had long since been over. There's no need to investigate in it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. What? Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend to. Looks like we aren't welcome. Seems that the case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Mary Lana Sky, Lana. Oh, Gumshoe. Perfect timing, my boy. I need your help. Hey, pal. Get this Gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. I'm sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like the type of Gumshoe still out of the loop. Now, say, either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. It's because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. I falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Gumshoe. Actually, I took a look at the file area where the coffee was brewing. He seems strongly concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? You know, what everyone starts left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. Seems like the Gumshoe didn't never realize Emma was the girl. After he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. He had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written here, somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory. Yes, yes indeed. Oop. About this. Hey! Is that? It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case has been closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife. It all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Hurry, ask him. This knife, it was so dark, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. The knife tip was How did he puncture the lung and heart? He must have stuck it in sideways. The fuck? The victim's body belonging to the murderer, Joe Dark. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take the serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal. He killed a man that witnessed the accident, and they killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed them too, and that's when he started burying the bodies. A drug came on the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Jesus. So he hit someone, and then the witness who witnessed that died, and then the witness who witnessed that died, and the witness who witnessed that died, and the witness who witnessed that died. Jesus. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this was all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, by the middle of the question, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecution Marshall. The crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested at the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. AKA Emma. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It was not like he knew the evidence was forged. Honest guy is the guilty party here, isn't she? Sorry. Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence when they present in court. Well, not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talents as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, when he knows the talent rises to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. And there's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work! Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. You don't have any problem with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth might just crack. Well, there you have it, in a nutshell. That's all I know. I'll ask you one more thing. What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? That's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? What if I let a civilian in there? I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. Oh, pal, you're fine because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the other day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something that we could show him that would make him change his mind. Yes, yes there is, isn't there? Bam! Let me share a little advice with you while I... Oh. About that jar, I think I've seen it somewhere before. Somewhere. Maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous life. Must be the most, uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gaynor? I was a guess too. Where could I've seen that before? I knew it. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Oh. Hey look, there's hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Goodman's blood somehow got on this when you were stabbed. Not likely. The blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. Sure. There's evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be where the blood got on it. It's this thing right here. What I did notice though is the king of prosecutors has a sword in the picture. If you see right here, it has a sword, but the one and a broken tip, or is it that tip? I don't know. I think the statue was still intact, but we have a tip. Giggity. Anyway, I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What? What are you doing here? I have some questions, bitch. He was sure to quick throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in the court, huh? I'm gonna go grab that ball the second he stops talking. I had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around me. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Well, first, we're gonna be grabbing that. I wonder what he was hiding for. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Distract him. I'll check it out. Hey Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe at the window there? Oh no! He's falling to the ground! Hold on. First let me see what this girl is doing crawling around my feet. God damn it! He didn't even look. What? Letter of If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Edgeworth, you can't quit. I need you in the second game. What will I do without you? Oh, woe is me, Edgeworth. Had a resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. My butthole. What? Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright? Please, you have to do something. It's not a resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Sweet. Alright, I also need you to look at this. Because you have the same trophy, but yet yours doesn't have a sword. This picture was hanging on the wall in the Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding is a little different than yours. Yeah, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind the design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling us to it? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. What? This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? I haven't. Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell me it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd that claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield that he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection! Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, fair descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed out this, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. Ancient tale ends with merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why are you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Because it's the real murder weapon. I knew it. Neil Marshall stabbed himself. I'm just kidding. He didn't stab himself, though. It's very obvious that douchebag McGee, Joe Dark, grabbed his trophy and like killed him with it. And like, oh my god, it broke off. And, you know, anyway, I'm gonna calm down. New box trophy updated. Oh my lord. Okay. I think that's... I just have to talk to him now, I believe. Alright. So, about tomorrow's trial.